All right, welcome everyone. Today we're going to get our hands dirty with a really core programming concept. We're going to build some actual practical matrix programs right here in C. The goal? To take this thing that might seem a little confusing and turn it into a powerful tool that you can, actually use.
So, let's dive right in. Look, we all start out with simple one-dimensional arrays, right? It's just a list of things. But what happens when the data isn't a simple list? Think about a chessboard or a spreadsheet or even all the pixels on your screen. That's when you've got to level up. And that next level is the 2D array, which is the fundamental structure we use to build what we call a matrix.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with what a matrix even is. Then we'll look at the blueprint for actually building one in code. From there, we'll dive into the engine that makes it all work, the nested loop. And finally, we'll get into the fun stuff, simple operations, and then we'll tackle the big one, matrix multiplication. And of course, why all of this really matters.
All right, first things first. What exactly are we even talking about when we use the word matrix in the world of programming?
The key thing to get your head around is this. Stop thinking about a single flat list of numbers. Instead, I want you to picture a list that's made up of other lists. See? Each of those inner lists is basically a row. And when you stack those rows on top of each other, boom, you've got a grid. That's it. That's all a 2D array or a matrix really is.
Okay, that's the concept. But how do we actually translate that idea into C code? Let's take a look.
And this right here, this is the blueprint. It's actually super straightforward. First, you tell C the data type. Are these going to be integers or floating point numbers? Then you give your array a name. But the real magic is in those two sets of brackets. The first one is for the number of rows, and the second is for the number of columns. That's literally what tells the computer to build a grid.
So, how do you grab one specific piece of data out of that grid? Well, it's just like a spreadsheet. To get to any single cell, all you need are its coordinates. The first number you give it is the row, and the second is the column. And don't forget the golden rule of C. We always start counting from 0.
Okay, so we've built the box, we have our container. But now the question is, how do we efficiently go through it? How do we visit every single cell to, say, put data in or read data out?
Yeah, the real challenge is finding a system, a pattern to move through that grid methodically. And lucky for us, the answer is a super powerful, super fundamental programming pattern that, trust me, you are going to use all the time.
And here it is. This is our engine, a loop inside of another loop. It's called a nested loop. Think about it. The outer loop goes, okay, I'm on row 0. It just sits there for a moment. Then the inner loop kicks in and it runs through every single column in that row. Column 0, column 1, column 2. Once it's finished, the outer loop finally moves on. All right, now I'm on row 1. And the whole process starts over. This gives us this incredible, precise control to get to every single element, matrix I, matrix J.
All right, time to put that engine to work. Let's start with a couple of foundational matrix operations that are just a perfect showcase for how powerful this nested loop idea is. Okay, check this out. Matrix addition is so intuitive, it's great. All you do is you take two matrices that have the exact same dimensions, and you just add the numbers in the corresponding spots. So top left plus top left equals the new top left. It's that simple. And you can see how this is a perfect job for our nested loops, right? We just visit each spot and do the math.
Okay, next up we have something a little different. The transpose. This time we're not combining two matrices, we're just rearranging one of them. The best way to picture it is to imagine a line running from the top left corner to the bottom right. Now just flip the whole matrix over that line. What happens? The rows become the columns, and the columns become the rows.
And the secret sauce, the entire trick to making this work in code, is this one simple index swap. As our nested loops are chugging along, visiting the original matrix at position ij, we just tell the computer to put that value into our new matrix at position ji. We're just flipping the row and column numbers. That one little flip in the code is what does the entire operation. It's pretty cool.
All right, let's step up the difficulty a bit. It's time to tackle matrix multiplication. Now, this is definitely the most complex thing we're going to look at today. It is not as simple as just multiplying the matching elements, but don't worry, we're going to break it down.
Okay, before we even dream of writing a single line of code, there is one golden rule. This is absolutely non-negotiable. The number of columns in the first matrix must, and I mean must, equal the number of rows in the second matrix. If they don't match, you can't do it.
The operation is just impossible. Full stop.
And this is a perfect way to see what I'm talking about. Look at the example on the left. We have a 2 by 3 matrix and a 3 by 4. See those inner numbers, the 3 and the 3? They match, so we're good to go. But on the right, we have a 2 by 3 and a 2 by 4. The inner dimensions are 3 and 2. They don't match, so nope, can't do it. It's a failure.
This visual does a fantastic job of breaking down the actual process. So, to get just one single number in our final matrix, here's what you do. You take an entire row from the first matrix and an entire column from the second one. Then you multiply the first element of the row by the first element of the column, the second by the second, and so on. Finally, you add up all of those little products, and that sum, that's your new element. It's a lot of work for just one number, right?
And here is the code that brings that whole process to life. Now look closely. Those outer two loops, the I and J loops, their only job is to pick which spot in the final matrix we're trying to calculate. The real work, the real magic, happens in that third loop, the K loop on the inside. That's the workhorse. The K loop is what's actually walking along the row of the first matrix and down the column of the second, doing all that multiplying and adding.
Okay, so we've just spent all this time pushing numbers around in grids. So what? Why does any of this matter? What's the bigger picture here?
Here's the thing. The big takeaway is that when you master this stuff, you're not just learning C syntax, you're learning a fundamental way to think about and solve problems with complex data. I mean, this exact logic is what's running behind the scenes when you rotate a character in a video game. It's what powers image filters on your phone, and it's an absolutely essential building block for massive fields like data analysis and machine learning.
Look, once you've really mastered these 2D arrays, you've built an incredible foundation. You're ready for even bigger challenges. I mean, what if you needed a third dimension, like layers of a 3D medical scan, or data that changes over time? The amazing thing is, the exact same principles of nested loops just scale up. So now that you have this tool in your toolkit, the real question is, what are you going to build with it?